Hey mamas, it's Haley from Let's Mama, and I just want to share with you today my long-awaited natural hospital birth story. I have been on a little bit of a maternity leave, but here is the video you have been waiting for. I want to share my story with you. To start off, I want to first contrast my first birth with my second. My first birth was a complete medical intervention filled 41-week induction with epidural, the whole shebang. And it was absolutely the exact opposite of what I had wanted my birth story to be for my first baby, Eli. And so I did a bunch of different things with my second pregnancy in order to help me achieve a natural birth this time around. And everything that I did differently is for another video. But I do want to share my top 2 tidbits that I believe really helped me achieve my natural birth with my second baby. And that is hold off induction until 41 weeks, 6 days at least. And then my second is hire a doula. My doula was my birthing angel, and I truly believe she helped me achieve my natural birth that I wanted. She was in no way interfering with me and my husband as we experienced our birth together. She was just an extra support whenever we needed her. And her knowledge and expertise in the area of delivery was just a godsend in the moment. So those are my 2 tidbits to help you achieve your natural birth. But to start off, the birth story kind of begins around 41 weeks, 0 days. I was overdue again with my second, and I just remember thinking, I am just not able to go into labor on my own. For some reason, something is just wrong with me, and I'm broken, and it just doesn't happen. All these women were going into labor, in the middle of the night and all this stuff, and I just doubted myself entirely. So I texted my doula, and I said, I'm being induced in 6 days. What should I start doing to help labor come? And she said, don't do anything, but just relax, trust the wisdom of your body. And she said, I truly believe that, I'm hopeful that you're going to go into labor before you are induced in 6 days. And she said, enjoy the last few days of being pregnant. And just her confidence and that text message to me just gave me so much peace. And I just remember feeling more confident in myself and knowing that I still have 6 days to go into labor before induction, and I don't need to worry about that yet. I just need to focus on being healthy, staying hydrated, relaxing as much as possible, doing my exercise ball exercises, and just waiting for my baby to arrive. And so that's kind of my little angel text message that helped me to keep going and believe that I could do this. So the night before labor, I was 41 weeks, 2 days, and just absolutely no signs of labor that entire day. Some women have told me that they get, Braxton Hicks the whole day before, or, all these different signs that labor might be approaching, and I just had nothing. Just one more day had come and gone of no signs of labor near approaching at all. I laid down my toddler with my husband and went to bed like normal with no contractions or anything. So I fell asleep that night and woke up at 41 weeks, 3 days, at 6:45 a.m. with a tightening in my stomach. And I woke up to this and thought, oh my goodness, I'm having a Braxton Hick, which was not super, super common for me. I was not the type that, did Braxton Hicks for weeks. But I definitely had them before. So not really big warning flag for me that this was the real thing yet. So I remember trying to go back to sleep. I was trying to rest, tossing and turning, and thought, I can't go back to sleep with these. They're not painful, but they're definitely there. So I'm going to go take a shower and see if they go away with some warm water. And as I'm getting ready for the shower, I realized that they're pretty close together and they seem to be getting stronger. So I went and woke up my husband and told him that you might want to start getting ready because I'm not sure, but this may be the real thing. So he started getting ready while I got in the shower, and we started timing the contractions. This was around 7:45 a.m. at this point, and they were about 5 minutes apart. So I was thinking, wow, these are pretty close together for having just woke up in labor, or at least what I thought was probably labor. And we started timing them, and I kept kind of getting my toddler ready for the day as I was working through the contractions. And around 9 a.m., I was really starting to actually have to kind of breathe through them, and I was using my exercise ball to kind of relieve some of the pressure, and ended up calling my mom to come over and watch our toddler because we were going to head to the hospital because we were pretty sure this was a real thing. And so my mom arrived around 9:20-ish, and we ended up driving to the hospital at that point because the contractions were becoming much more difficult to get through, and thought that probably baby would be coming today for sure. So we ended up getting to the hospital around 9:40, kind of getting into the check-in room around 10 a.m. And they ended up checking me, and I was 4 centimeters, 90% effaced, and contractions were about 4 minutes apart. And the nurse just looked at me and said, "It's baby day, mama." And I just remember being so happy. And I also remember thinking, this better be baby day, because I was having some pretty good contractions. So I thought, if this isn't natural labor, I don't know what is. So ended up getting moved to my official labor and delivery suite and getting into that room around 11 a.m. So at that point, my doula had arrived as well, and we were kind of all working through my contractions together. They were getting a little bit heavier. I was leaning on my exercise ball on all fours, kind of breathing through each contraction, and was having some pretty serious back pain. And my doula ends up looking at us and sees a visible bump on my lower back. And she just kind of looked at us and said, "Your baby is facing the wrong way, and you're having back labor." And so Jordan was squeezing my hips together as tight as he could, honestly, to help me kind of work through that back labor pain. And I will not wish back labor on anyone. It was 10 times worse labor as far as labor goes, because you're having a contraction and then you have this just fire pain in your lower back. But I ended up getting through it with my doula and my husband. They were doing ice packs and squeezing my hips together, and my doula kept having me change positions to try to help Ava to turn the right way, and it ended up working. I was having some really strong contractions, kind of struggling to get through some of them, and so they ended up checking me, and I was 6 to 7 centimeters starting transition. And I just kind of looked at my doula and said, "I need something. I don't know if it's pain meds or, we need to try the bath, but I need a little bit of a break." So we ended up trying the bath, and I got in the bath around noon. And right before I got in the bath, I was 6 centimeters, like I had mentioned. And so they thought, we still have a little bit ways to go. We can get out of the bath and have baby. But what ended up happening was something that no one was expecting, including myself. So we labored in the bath for probably about 30 minutes. And I just remember feeling the back pain just disappear, and all of a sudden just so much pressure. And I remember thinking to myself, Ava has turned and she is going to come out. And so I looked at my doula, and she asked me, she said, "Are you having back pain still?" And I said, "No." I'm like, she is coming out. So nurse runs in, checks me. I'm 10 centimeters. She tells me not to push and goes and grabs the doctor. And I don't know if you guys have been 10 centimeters in heavy labor and told not to push, but it's near impossible, and I sure did not listen. I was pushing that baby out, and I thought, well, my doula can catch my baby if doctor doesn't make it here on time. But he ended up getting there on time, and Ava got a little stuck while I was pushing. I only pushed for about 5 to 10 minutes, but the nurse looked at me and said, I was kind of in a crab position in the bath, but she said, "You stand up and push that baby out." And just that change of position and kind of her confident statement to me gave me this second wind of energy, and I stood up and pushed, and out Ava came. And it was honestly amazing. I was so thankful that I had the water birth, because it relieved some of the just that took the edge off of the contractions, and it was just a natural way for Ava to come into the world. And I was just so thankful that this labor was so different. Even right after it happened, I just could not believe how different my labors had been. And I couldn't believe that I already had my baby in my arms, because at the beginning of labor, I was thinking that, my labor would be at least 12 hours long, since my first was 25 hours. And so I remember thinking around 6 to 7 centimeters, like, I can't do this. I can't maintain these contractions for another 12 hours. And I remember my nurse and doula, they kept looking at me and saying, "Haley, your baby is coming soon." And they would never say when, because they didn't want me to, get too excited if it was a little bit too much of a guess. But they were like, "Your baby's coming soon," and they were right. And I just love sharing this birth story with you guys, because it was so different than my first. And I just want to say that there's hope for those that have not achieved the birth that they want. You can achieve that birth. And for those who are maybe pregnant with your first, do the things that I have listed in my blog posts that I will link below to help you achieve the natural birth that you want, because it is absolutely worth it. So I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my natural hospital birth story, a surprise water birth. And if you guys like and subscribe to this video, I have tons of Let's Mama videos coming out each week, and I hope to see you in the next video. So enjoy this and enjoy your pregnancy, and I hope you have the birth you deserve. Bye, Mama.